Welcome to Calcutta Races Spring Meeting, second day, Saturday, 9th February 2019 race preview on Queen's Cup Day. First race will be the Malaysia Cup to be run over a distance of 2,000 meters. We're looking at number 1, Commodore. Commodore's last outing was in race number 110 over 1,400 meters, where Commodore was travelling second till it turned for home and then faded away in the final stages of the race and finished right at the back end of the field to finish 9th, and the winner of that race was Mokaloka. Number 2 will be Tegatus. Tegatus' last outing was in race number 102 over 1,600 meters, where Tegatus finished on 7th. Also in the same race, we had number 3, Cold Frontier, who finished on 2nd. A short neck behind the winner that was ruled down under. Came up with a late dash was Cold Frontier, but couldn't match strides and just lost by a short neck to rule down under. Also in the same race, we had number 5, Fantasia, who finished on 4th, and number 7, Dixie Diamond, who finished on 5th. Number 4 will be Razor Grand. Razor Grand is the one that you need to watch out for. Revel out of Lothian Lass has had 2 starts in Calcutta this season and won both its starts. Very impressive. The last one being much more impressive than the first one in race number 83 over 1,600 meters. Came up with a late dash and won it by a length and 3/4. Number 6 will be Avarua. Avarua's last outing was impressive this season in race number 85 over 2,000 meters, where Avarua traveled second all the way and in the last 100 meters just kicked for home and went on to win it by a length and 1/4. Also in the same race, we had number 8, Raksharki, who finished on 4th, and number 9, The Straddle, who finished on 7th. Number 10 will be Smith & Wesson. Smith & Wesson's had a pretty decent season. Last outing in race number 121 over 2,000 meters. Came up with a late run was Smith & Wesson, but just about lost it by about short neck to the winner, that was Lokinwa. Number 11 will be Coup de Gras. Coup de Gras' last outing was in race number 101 over 1,400 meters, where Coup de Gras traveled second all the way, and in the final stage of the race, in the last 100 meters, took over the running, but eventually got beat by 3/4 of a length to Jacobin, and Coup de Gras finished on 2nd. Number 12 will be Point to Prove. Point to Prove's just had 1 start, and that was directly in the Calcutta Derby in race number 96 over 2,400 meters, and Point to Prove finished on 5th, and the winner of that race was Adjudicate, now being ridden by jockey A. Sandesh. Surely has a point to prove here. We move on to the second race, which is the French Cup, to be run over a distance of 1,400 meters. Number 1 will be Big Star. Big Star now running in the lower class in race, the last one being in race number 110 over 1,400 meters, where Big Star finished on 6th after some vigorous riding, and the winner of that race is Mokaloka. Number 2 will be Tough Enough. Tough Enough's last outing was in race number 111 over 1,400 meters, where Tough Enough couldn't produce much and finished 9th out of 9th, and right at the back end of the field, no effort at all by Tough Enough, and the winner of that race was Poet. Number 3 will be Dungle. Dungle's last outing was in race number 118 over 1,100 meters, where Dungle finished on 6th, a close 6th after much efforts. Also in the same race, we had number 4, Joss, who finished right at the back end of the field to finish on 11th, and number 5, Luminac, who finished on 8th. But the eventual winner of that race was a hard-fought Bit Stonehill, who got it by a nose. Number 6 will be Coconut. Coconut's last outing was not impressive in race number 121 over 2,000 meters, where Coconut finished on 7th after some vigorous riding, travelled quite wide of the track in the final stages, and the winner of that race was Lokinwa. Number 7 will be Novikov. Novikov's had 2 starts this season. Won its first start in race number 71 and in its last start finished on 3rd over 1400 meters in race number 101. And it was quite a close third there by Novikov, and the winner of that race was Jacobin. And also in the same race we had number 8, Summerhill, who finished on 5th. Number 9 will be Sanvi. Sanvi's last outing was in race number 58, just 1 start this season over 1400 meters, where Sanvi travelled 3rd till the turn for home and then took over the running till about 200 meters and then eventually was overtaken, and Sanvi finished on 3rd, and the winner of that race was Oakbrook. Number 10 will be Bojangles. Bojangles' last outing was in race number 75 over 1400 meters, where Bojangles led all the way till about 100 meters away from home and eventually was overtaken and won by Coconut, and Bojangles finished on a close 4th. Number 11 will be Respect. Respect's last outing was in race number 108 over 1200 meters, and not an impressive run there by Respect. Finished on 8th and travelled very wide in the final stage of the race, and the winner of that race was Jezebel, won it by a length and a quarter. Number 12 will be Prince of Heart. Prince of Heart's last outing was in race number 116 this season over 1600 meters, where Prince of Heart, after getting a few reminders in the final stage of the race, just couldn't improve and finished on 8th, and the winner of that race was Expensive Affair, who got it by a long neck. Number 13 will be Arjuna. Arjuna is running after a long layoff, last outing being in the monsoon meeting in race number 127 over 1400 meters, where Arjuna led all the way and went on to win that race by about 3 lengths by beating Expensive Affair.
We move on to the third race of the afternoon, the Philippines Cup, a Class 3 affair over 1200 meters. Firstly, we are looking at number 2, Arakawa, in race number 118, where Arakawa was racing in 5th spot as the horses turned for Rome, finished on 7th. In the same race, we had number 10, Lady 2, who was racing in 6th spot as the horses turned for Rome, finished on 5th. Then we had number 12, Sparkling Eyes, who was towards the end of the field and didn't make any impression and finished on 12th. And Tiburon, who was racing 10th and finished on 10th. The winner here was Bidstone Hill, who won that race in a 3-way finish. Next up, we have 2 runners. We are looking at number 3, Lumos, and in race number 105, where Lumos was leading the pack all the way till the last 150 meters, where Lumos faded very badly, finished on 6th. And in the same race, we had number 8, Give Me Credit, who was in 3rd spot and weakened to finish on 10th. The winner here was Appalachi, who won that race by a nose. Next, we have 2 runners again. Number 4, Aquatania, and number 9, Mahasubi. Aquatania in race number 18 was in 13th spot as the horses turned for Rome, dropped back further to finish on 14th of 14 runners. And number 9, Mahasubi, was the eventual winner, who was in handy 4th as the horses turned for Rome, made steady progress and won that race by about half a length, beating Bergamo. Next, we are looking at number 5, the Kiss, in race number 72, which was a very impressive run by Kiss. And Kiss was lying 5th as the horses turned for Rome, made steady progress, and towards the end of the race absolutely flew home. And the Kiss had earlier won in race number 10 as well. Next, we are looking at number 6, Leopard Creek, in race number 86, where Leopard Creek was racing in 5th spot as the horses turned for Rome, weakened to finish on 8th. In the same race, we had number 11, Next Star, who was leading the pack towards the inside rails, however weakened to finish on 4th. The winner here was Jacobin, who split the field down the center and absolutely won that race in taking style. Next, we are looking at number 7, Born to Win. Born to Win was leading the pack in race number 97 all the while, However, in the last 150 meters, Born to Win weakened and was overhauled by two runners, and Born to Win had to settle for third spot, about 2.5 lengths from the winner, which was Sereno. Lastly, we are looking at number 13, Fabian, in race number 26, where Fabian was in 6th spot as the horses turned for home. Weakened to finish on 11th. The winner here was Lumos, who won that race by a neck.
We move on to the fourth race, which is the Metropolitan, to be run over a distance of 1200 meters. Number 1 is Multitude. Multitude's last outing was in race number 103 over 1200 meters, where Multitude came up with a late dash as always and went on to win that race by about a length and a half by beating Nobu, who finished on second. Also in the same race we had number 6, that is Nobu, finished on second as I mentioned, and number 7 Brahmachari, who got the 4th place. Number 2 will be Denny Crane. Denny Crane's a winner of 2 starts. Both its last outings it's come out and won this season. And last one being in race number 70 over 1200 meters, where Denny Crane went on to win that race quite impressively by about 3 lengths by beating Multiple. Number 3 was Castlebridge. Castlebridge's last outing was in race number 45 over 1200 meters, where Castlebridge was lying second all the way and eventually about 100 meters away from home was overtaken, and the winner of that race was Multitude, and Castlebridge settled for 4th place. Number 4 will be Amorous White. Amorous White's last outing was in race number 120 over 1400 meters, where Amorous White led till about distance post and then eventually faded away and finished right at the back end of the field to finish on 8th. And also in the same race we had number 5 Exodus, who finished on 11th, and number 8, that is Copernicus, who finished on 6th, and number 9 One Man Army, who finished on 10th. But the eventual winner of that race, who won it by about a length and a half, was Sweet Music. Number 10 is Southpaw. Southpaw's just had 1 start this season, and what an impressive win that was by Southpaw on New Year's Day. Race number 80 over 1100 meters, just blew the field away start to finish and went on to win it by about 2 3/4 lengths by beating Ascension. We move on to the 5th race. This is the Calcutta Million 18-19 Grade 2, to be run over a distance of 1600 meters. Number 1 will be Adirit. Adirit's last outing was in race number 112 over 1400 meters, where Adirit, after much efforts, finished on 5th. Also in the same race we had number 3 Avellino, who looked squeezed for room at one stage, but eventually got a good opening and finished on 3rd was Avellino. Also we had number 4 Eastern Crown, who came up with a late dash with Robbie Downey and finished on 2nd was Eastern Crown, and number 5 Jayawant, who was an eventual runaway winner, won it by 3/4 of a length. And also in the same race we had number 7, an eye-catching 4th by Top Notch. Number 2 will be Aftershock. Aftershock has just had 1 start this season, and that is in race number 104 over 1200 meters, and absolutely shocked everybody was Aftershock. Aftershock went on to win that race in a start-to-finish mission and won it by about a long neck, and Atom finished on 2nd. Number 6 will be Script. What's the Script out of Shenlika? And just had 1 start this season in race number 91 over 1100 meters and warmed up very late was Script, and finished 2nd, 3 1/4 lengths behind the winner, that was Magnificent Star. You need to watch out for Script. We move on to the 6th race, which is the Queen Elizabeth II Cup Grade 3 for horses 4 years old and over, to be run over a distance of 2,800 meters. Number 1 will be Kambaku. Kambaku's last outing just had 1 start this season in race number 113 over 2,000 meters, where Kambaku led till about distance post and eventually faded away and finished on 4th. And the winner of that race was Who Makes the Rules, who came up with a rattle on the outside and won it by a short head. Number 2 will be Shivansh. Shivansh's last outing was in race number 96 over 2,400 meters, which was the Calcutta Derby, and Shivansh turned into the home straight travelling third and eventually remained in that position and finished on third was Shivansh, and the winner of that race was Adjudicate, won it by 9 1/4 lengths. Number 3 will be Multiglory. Multiglory's last outing was in race number 95 over 1600 meters, where Multiglory travelled 8th through till the turn for home and travelled very wide and eventually settled for 7th place was Multiglory, and the winner of that race was the Talisman. Number 4 will be Ophion. Ophion's last outing was quite an eye-catching one in race number 79 over 2,200 meters. Beside had a bold reply as Ophion came up at a late run and finished on second was Ophion, just a length and 3/4 behind the winner. That was number 5, Midnight Phantom, who won it. Number 4 will be Ophion. Ophion's last outing was in race number 79 over 2,200 meters, and quite an eye-catching one that was. So Ophion, beside had a bold reply, came up with a late run down in the centre towards the inner rail and finished second behind the eventual winner. That is number 5, Midnight Phantom, who won it by a length and 3/4.
We move on to the 7th and last race of the afternoon, the Portugal Cup. Class 4 affair over 1100 meters. The first runner we are looking at is Romanov, air support out of Jersey Girl. Romanov has already had 3 starts, winner in race number 34 and has placed second in race number 10. However, in race number 76, the run we are looking at here, Romanov was racing in 7th spot as the horses turned for home and weakened further to finish on 11th. The winner here was Give Me Credit. Next we are looking at number 3, Buddy Holly in race number 90, where Buddy Holly was travelling in 4th spot when the horses turned for home. Didn't make any impression, finished on 4th. And earlier Buddy Holly finished second twice in race number 50 and race number 88 respectively. Next we have 5 runners in race number 117. Firstly we had number 4, Shape the Scape, who finished on 4th, was travelling in 10th spot as the horses turned for home, made steady progress. And in the same race we had number 6, Yotaka, who was racing in 4th spot as the horses turned for home, weakened to finish on 12th. And then we had number 12, Excelite, who was racing in 13th spot and finished on 7th. In the same race we had number 13, Artificial, who was racing in 6th spot, finished on 6th. And number 14, Hurricane Storm, who was towards the end of the field and didn't make any impression. Next up we have 2 runners in race number 72. Number 5, Viragio, who eventually finished on 2nd, was racing in 8th spot, came up with a late run, and there was a 3-way battle between Viragio and Jezebel was the eventual winner, and Viragio finished on 2nd by a nose. In the same race we had number 7, I, Me and Myself, who raced towards the end of the field and finished on 11th. Next we have 2 runners again. Number 8, Midnight Magic, who was the eventual winner in race number 107. Midnight Magic was racing towards the end of the field as the horses turned for home, 11th of 14 runners. Made steady progress down the centre and won that race by about half a length. In the same race we had number 11, Looking Good, who didn't make any impression on that day, finished 12th of 14 runners. Next we have number 9, Moira in race number 87. Moira has already had 4 starts without placing. In race number 87, Moira was travelling in 4th spot as the horses turned for home, was there about till the last 200 meters and then weakened and finished on 10th of 11 runners. The winner here was Give Me Credit. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.